it's time for us to get into some community-focused stories this morning. And let me just remind you that we have a WhatsApp line. And if you happen to be watching us around the country, outside the country, or even from the location where the story is coming from, and you want to contribute to the conversation that's going on, kindly use the WhatsApp line 0204447033. If you happen to be outside Ghana, kindly prefix that number with +233. Now we're going to go over to the northern region, to Tamale specifically, and a suburb called Kukuo, and they're having challenges with potable water. Our colleague Alabira brought us this story. Let's take a look at this and then we'll delve into some conversations.
The issue of some residents across the country, especially those in the northern part of the country, crying for potable water is here again as the dry season sets in. In northern region, for example, several communities are without potable water and are depending on other sources that is, in most cases, are not safe. Others do not just have access to water, and Kukuo in the Nanumba South district is one of such. The challenge of Kukuo is that it is situated on top of a mountain, making the water table there to be very low, hence the challenge. Several non-governmental organizations and philanthropists have tried drilling boreholes for them. In the rainy season, there is water in the boreholes, but in dry season like this time, the boreholes becomes dry, like this one. Hajia Rabi, a former assembly member for the area, spoke on the challenges the situation poses to women in the community.
The water situation in Kukuo is very, very bad. Now, every village in Nano, their women are now resting. But our women here, they wake up at dawn, 3 o'clock, go for water, chasing water. By the time they will come, Muslim has finished praying their salat. After no lunch, because no water, children are crying, likewise their husband. So all what they are doing here, the water table here is very, very hard. And we the inhabitants, know where we can get water, which will be everlasting. We can get water at Kukuo Oti River. Okay. Here, the main road here, there's a hill, whereby if they are going to demolish it, it will spend a lot of money. But that place, we've got valleys, no hill. So if anybody is going to give us water, I think without that place, no source in the town that they can get water. My appeal is NGOs, government, or good Samaritans who are there, they should come to our aid and give us water so that we rest here.
There are other boreholes about 2 kilometers outside the community where women go to fetch water. Citi News visited one of the boreholes where the news team met some women who shared their frustrations. To access the other source of water, which is the river Oti, the women will have to descend the mountain for about 1 kilometer before reaching the riverside. Citi News decided to visit the site to see the actual situation. Citi News, on its way to the riverside, met some women from Bimbila who came to the community for a funeral and decided to go see the mountain and the river. They shared their experience with Citi News.
We have come to observe the river and then how it looks like, because this is my first time of being in Kukuo. So actually it's not easy. Wow. It's not easy for me at all. Even the walk alone, in fact, see how I'm breathing. Not to talk of women are fetching water from the river to their houses. Wow. No, it's not good. They should help the women in Kukuo. In fact, they are suffering. At least people should come to their aid and then help them.
At the riverside, City News met some women and they narrated how they struggle on daily basis to go fetch water.
Kukuo sa wan ti kul doni zan chan kurga yin za yen yisme chan kulgu ma kuna nan labe la kuna ya to yi kul kuna yin to chan na ba ta ka cheka nan ban jirgo nji kala chan funi ibe nji ka jia ko ma son sim ka ta kul bora yi ko ta ko ma ka de tam to wa ala ma mar nan balkate anya kom ma to chan to tuma ya to sher ko ma me yi kana ko to chan Pumpor na sogba tam din dabayi akule mbela kwa man ka kungbati yankuwa amana bi.
The women are appealing to the government and other organizations to support them by finding ways of getting the water from
All right, so that's a report brought to us by Mohammed Alabira from the northern region. Now, this story, this Kukuo is actually not the Kukuo in Tamale. It's actually Kukuo in the Nanumba South District, the area where there is a witches' camp. And that's where the story has been brought to you. And now we have the assemblyman of the electoral area, Issa Abdulaziz, on the line. Good morning to you, sir. Hello, hello, Issa. Hello. Hello. All right, we're having challenges with getting in touch with the assemblyman. When we get that sorted out, we'll bring you the conversation there. But from this time and time again, we come across neighborhoods, communities, areas where people just struggle, you know, with access to water. And we have a water ministry. We have also the community water agency, you know, and I don't know exactly what their plan, the rollout of their plans are in terms of making sure that across the country we have, you know, sorted out people's challenges with water across the country. I don't know what it is that we're going to do, when it is that we're going to get to the bottom of this and eventually say that there's nobody anywhere in Ghana who doesn't have some kind of access to potable water.
I mean, it's a difficult one, you know, when in 2023 we are still talking about issues like this. For me, I would think that basic needs, you know, things that will prevent outbreak of diseases, things that will affect lives in this manner will be dealt with, you know, at the basic level. So things like water, electricity, health, I believe that these are basic needs that people should have easy access to, because when these things are in place, you know, it goes a long way to solve a lot of other problems that it could generate. You know? So we are in the dry season, the Hamatan. We already know the situation when it comes to weather in the north. And so if there's no access to water, look at the dust, look at every other thing. So if they are also drinking water that is not that clean, it is a problem. You get it? And so for me, I think that some of these things we really need to pay particular attention, because having access to potable water will solve a lot of problems. Look at the diseases that we get, all the challenges that we go through in terms of health, water-borne diseases, you know, all these, the poverty level in the region. So for me, I think that areas like these where poverty is very high, these are the places that we need to put in place basic amenities, you know, to deal with some of the challenges that the absence of these amenities would bring.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have the Honorable back on the line, Issa Abdul Aziz, Assemblyman for the Kukuo electoral area. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So talk to us a little bit about your electoral area, where exactly you are located, what's the closest town to where you are, and then, you know, the challenges that you have with water within your area.
Yeah, I'll say good morning to you all, and then good morning to your cherished viewers. Kukuo is under Nanumba South District, which is very closer to Bimbila.
Okay.
And our main challenge in the community is the water crisis. And it's very terrible. And you know, the community is 70% full of vulnerable people, most especially that our alleged witches. There are old women there. And to get access to water there, in fact, is something bad. Yes, yes.
So let's understand this. You're referring to the witches, as in like the witches camp?
Please come again.
Did you say the witches?
Yes, it is our alleged witches camp.
Okay, so the witches camp is in the Nanumba South District.
Yes.
Please. Okay, and they are also having, of course, there will be elderly women, elderly ladies over there, and they are struggling with water.
Please come again.
I'm just trying to get some clarification on what you said. So there are elderly women in the community there, and they are struggling with water, access to water.
Yes.
Okay. So what have you done in terms of talking to authorities, trying to get access to water and all of that? What efforts have you made so far?
Yeah, in fact, the way our issue is, we've engaged with a lot of NGOs some times ago, and some of them they came for water survey, and you know they got to realize that there is low. How will I call it?
Is it a water table?
Yes, the water table is very low, and for that matter, most of them don't want to waste their much resources on based on the boreholes, because if you drill the boreholes, especially during the rainy season, there will be enough water, but within some few months, in fact, everything will vanish.
I see.
So to base on boreholes, I think even the community we are not much interested in the boreholes anymore, because the water table is very low, so we can't base on the boreholes again.
But what's the alternative though?
Yes, what I will propose is there is some OT river out there.
Yeah.
And I wish we could get maybe a massive support, it's either from any philanthropy or the central government, to come to our aid. Maybe when we get to that OT river site, I think we can connect the water from there and then to Kukuo Township, which will be an everlasting solution to the community. And aside that, if we are to base on these boreholes, when you come to Kukuo, you can't count the old boreholes which are not working. Yes.
So you have a lot of boreholes, but there's no water.
There's no water.
Okay.
So we don't want to base on the much boreholes anymore.
So these boreholes that exist already, during the rainy season, does water flow through them?
During the rainy season, I can just boast of only two.
I see.
Two boreholes.
Okay.
And that two boreholes, it is not in Kukuo community. It is not in Kukuo town. It is far away.
I see.
And that old woman, they can't walk, except those who are having bicycles. They can get there, but the old women, they can't get access to that two boreholes. It's very far.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Now, Aziz, you've mentioned that you wish something would be done, especially with regard to the OT river. Now, I think that we need to move away from wishes, because it won't really solve any problem. What has the conversation be over the period, in trying to salvage the situation, in trying to make sure that concrete steps are being taken to solve the problem?
Hello?
Yeah, did you hear my question?
No, please come again.
Right. So you earlier mentioned that you are wishing that something will be done with regard to OT River. Now I'm asking
Yes.
that at this point, we cannot be wishing. Concrete steps needs to be taken to solve the problem. What has the conversation been? What steps have been taken or are being taken to make sure that we correct this?
Please, I can just hear when you started mentioning about the OT River.
Yes.
But your last part.
So what I want to find out is, have you started any conversations? Have there been any steps taken to make sure that now we can't depend on boreholes anymore? Something concrete needs to be done to solve the problem once and for all. What are those measures, if there are any?
For now, there is no any measure towards that OT River connections, because what I can just remember is we engaged with some people, and they were it was our MP who sent them to the community, and then I also led them to the OT River site, just to see how best they will also do. And so they just monitor everything and say, okay, they will go and come back.
When was this?
Hello?
When was this? Do you remember when they came?
Like 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Who is your MP?
Honorable Abukare Dawuli.
Okay, so as it stands now, nothing really has been said about it. Nothing really has been done about it.
Nothing. They said they will come back, but we are still waiting.
but who are these people? Is it an NGO, some investor? Like, who are they?
Yes, they were NGOs.
Okay.
They were NGOs. They were white men.
Okay, that's okay. But what is the assembly itself doing about this?
Yes, the assembled, they are saying the way our issue is, if not any central government support, I think the Assembly Common Fund cannot do what we wanted them to do. So unless they get massive support from the central government, but for Assembly Common Fund, that it can work for us.
So what steps have been taken to share your plight, to let the central government know about this problem?
They said always when you try to find out how far with our issue with the water crisis towards central government, they will say, okay, they are still working on it, and very soon they will come. They are still working on it. Even during elections here, when they come, we just tell them, oh, so our issue. They say, okay, no problem. When we get to power, we do this, we do that. Up to date.
All right, thank you very much, Assemblyman Kukuo Electoral Area, Issa Abdul Aziz. Yeah. So that is it. It's always been a campaign promise, but never seen the light of day. So this is their situation, and that is where they stand. Yeah. And if what Issa said is anything to go by, it means that there's no end in sight to this issue. No, there isn't. It doesn't seem that we are committed to actually solving the problem. Now, interestingly, the Kukuo is actually sited on a hill, you know, so it's not, I can understand why they have the challenge water, with water, right? But again, that's why we elect leaders. That's why we appoint leaders. You know, we bring people who can bring solutions. You know, so at the end of the day, if they are not delivering the solutions, then that's the problem. That's the challenge that we have. That the person maybe doesn't even have the capacity to solve the problem. You know, because like the Assemblyman is saying, you have the option of looking at a river body. Okay, that is a little distance away. How do we have access to the river body, tap water that comes into the town, you know, from the river, and then, you know, and give us the opportunity to be able to at least seasonally have water, right? I'm thinking, so I'm thinking about the Oti River as one option. I'm thinking about water storage as another option, right? Because rain falls,
what do we do with the rainfall?
Exactly.
You look at the houses and the way they are designed. The water, they can't store water.
No,
There's no way
it's
the houses
impossible.
with thatch
Exactly.
roofs, they're not going to store any
Yeah.
water, right? But if there's good leadership that's thinking about these
Yeah.
things, you can actually have, because in the north of Ghana, we have 4 months of rainfall. Okay, 4 months of almost everyday rainfall, right, in the northern region. So what are you doing in terms of water storage?
You see, I think that our problem in this country is planning, thinking things through before doing them. Now, when we decided to put people in Kukuo, we knew that they would drink water.
Yeah.
You know, and so whether they are at a high area or very low area, I mean, so the people in low areas, when it rains, they get flooded.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
The people up there, they can't get water.
Yeah.
You know, so really,
It's like we
goes
just
into our
behave like
engineering
people who are at the mercy of the elements, and it's like
of
like,
nature.
Yeah.
You know, so just be there when it's rainy
They
season.
would
Just get your pants,
take it like
fetch
that.
water, take
Yeah.
it like that. When you're also down there and it's rainy season,
It's unfortunate.
Find something to do so you don't get flooded. So we are not able to, you know, strike a balance. You
Yeah.
know that okay. So those in the low-lying areas, this is what we are going to do to make sure that they are safe. We just put people anywhere and everywhere without really proper planning as to access to basic amenities, and that is why we face the things we face. As we speak, people are still developing properties, people are still doing this, we are still watching.
Yeah.
They are building on waterways, we are watching, you know, and then some years to come, we take bulldozers, we go there, say we are breaking all the buildings on waterways.
That's
We are
even
doing
if we have the guts to
Charlie.
break it properly. You know, we'll do, and then we'll say fence walls must come down. The rest of the houses will just stay. You know, those kinds
Regularize
of things
your
that we
stay,
do. Yeah,
do this, do that. You know, I mean,
I don't get
at this
it.
point, we really have to think things through and also hold people responsible.
Yeah.
You know, so we have people in the assembly working there. They don't even know what is going to happen. So if the assembly doesn't know, who else, you know, can do something about it?
So my struggle with, and I really wish we can raise the DCE on the line. We are making attempts to do that.
Honorable, your line is busy. We are trying to call you.
Yeah, we need to talk to you because as the head of the assembly there, I think it's not just about a money issue. It's about a planning issue. It's about looking at options. It's about looking at options that are not necessarily expensive. They may be labor intensive, but not financially expensive, you know, to do. And in the north, there's many examples of this where I've personally witnessed, videoed, taken pictures of people building a dam that can serve several communities. Do you see? Yeah, and when the rain falls, it stores water because they've created the dam to be able to do that, right? We've been joined on the line.
Yes. So we have the DCE, Nanumba South District, on the line, the Honorable Zakaria Yusuf. Thank you very much for your time, Honorable.
All right, thank you.
Right, Honorable, are you aware that Kukuo residents do not have access to potable drinking water,
Thank you. Good morning, and good morning to our listeners. Yes, I'm aware Kukuo has a water crisis. Not that they don't have, but they have, but it's not enough.
So what do you mean by it's not enough? Can you please explain that?
Yes, given the population of the community in excess of 8,000,
yes,
the available water system in the community does not serve them adequately.
So now, what is their source of water?
Yes, it's multiple folds.
Okay.
Over the years, there have been some interventions that Assembly, for that matter, central government has provided for, a relief. Some number of boreholes have been drilled, but unfortunately, they all turn out to be dry wells. And some have broken down. We have taken steps to repair. Some, at the moment, we have one at the center of the community where they can draw water. But like I said, that is not enough. So other avenues have been employed to get them water.
Okay.
People, business-minded people have managed to send water on motorcycles have them, to buy rate. They sell the water for them to buy.
Honorable, I'm sure you agree with me that this is not sustainable. What measures are you taking? What measures is the central government taking to ensure that we solve this water problem for the residents?
Very well. I think it is a big problem for us, and we have never glossed over it. We have made several efforts. Yes, last year, when the crisis hit its peak, I was compelled to arrange for tankers to send them water. And with the hope that when we get some physical space, when we have money, we'll provide them with water. And that's travel up to the rainy season. Normally, when the rains are there and you go to find water, the water table will be high, and you'll be tempted to believe that there's a lot of water in the ground. So when you drill or sink a borehole, that will not last again, and you'll be surprised there's no water. So Kukuo is on our priority list that will be providing water as soon as possible.
Right.
That is all dependent on the availability of funds.
Now, when you say that Kukuo is on your priority list, I believe that it means there are timelines that you are working with.
Very well.
So when are we looking at Kukuo getting water, clean water?
That's what I said. That is going to be hinged on the availability of funds at the Assembly. And we are hopeful that any moment from now, the narrative will improve. And that will give us the muzzle.
Right. So in the meantime, are you still going to be sending water in tankers to them?
Yes, that arrangement was just a stopgap measure.
Yeah.
And we are unable to continue that way because, like I said, it's not all that fine with us. So what it means is that households will have to manage with the one that currently can provide water, and then other opportunities or platforms that serve them with water.
So when you say other platforms, you've mentioned the borehole
yes.
at the center of the town. What are the other platforms?
I said earlier that people in the community and even out of the community have managed to send water on tricycle to sell water to them.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So now the alternative is to buy water.
Yes.
So until we find the money, which we are not sure when, this is how residents are going to live their lives, to buy water.
Very well. Yes, I think this water situation is not peculiar to Kukuo community alone.
No, I understand, but this conversation is on Kukuo.
So just like in other places, this is what everybody does. If you have water, that is not enough.
Go and buy some.
One, that is not enough. I just have to make adjustments until the proper intervention comes to provide remedy.
Right, and that time we are not sure of.
No, that one we cannot be sure, but it will be long because we are all hopeful that the next few days the narrative will change.
Really?
Yes.
So, Honorable, on what basis are you hopeful? What's your basis for your hope?
Basis for my hope, yes. I think if as an organization, as an institution, certainly you have to be optimistic. You cannot be pessimistic that all will be difficult all time.
So I would imagine that maybe you've had a conversation with the water ministry, the minister in charge of water and sanitation, and so on, and you've advanced the conversation to a point where some assurances have been given, and that's the basis of your hope. But has such a thing happened? And on what? That's why I'm asking on what basis? Because as human beings, we have hope because we've woken up and the sun has risen on us. But that cannot be the basis of having hope as the leader of an assembly that is running an entire community.
Well, Like I said, we are dependent on the releases of funds to us.
Okay.
And we are sure in the next few, it can be long that we'll get money. And that's when it happens. Water is going to be our target. Because we are in the dry season, and this is the time most communities are hit with this water crisis.
Honorable,
yes.
Let's understand something. Have you had a conversation with the ministry or the Minister of Water? Has this been done?
No, certainly no. I'm only in touch with some benevolent organizations, the NGOs.
Okay.
In the past season, I engaged an NGO that went there, but when after their assessment, they came back with a report that the water table was too low, and that there was the likelihood that they sank the borehole without getting the needed returns in terms of water supply.
Right.
So I'm in touch with some NGOs, and they are saying they could also provide some relief when they are ready to do that.
But the NGO, we are very grateful to them that they are trying to bring some respite. But central government, whose responsibility it is to provide access to drinking water, have you engaged the person in charge? So we can say that, okay, by end of 2023, we will get water, and so we are being hopeful. Or we are just at the mercy of whoever can come to our rescue. Which one exactly is the situation?
Central government in this sense refers to district assembly.
Yes.
And that is what we are mobilizing ourselves to do.
Exactly.
Yes, and that when as soon as possible, that is going to be our priority.
Okay.
And that's we don't doubt it.
So so at what point would you want us to call you back to check?
At what point? Come again.
At what point would you want us to call you back to check on progress of things?
Oh, this one, I think if I'm going to give definite timelines, that might not be possible because just as I cannot say tomorrow we are getting money, I cannot tell you tomorrow call me.
But you said soon, so give us give us an idea.
I think the adjective soon can still work here, so as soon as possible.
Honorable, would we be wrong to say that government has failed the people of Kukuo?
No, government has not failed.
They don't have the water. You can't tell us when water is coming. So really, what is happening?
We have made several efforts, and I can tell you.
But it hasn't solved the problem.
We have in excess of 6-7 boreholes.
How many of them are working now?
That's what I'm saying. Kukuo itself has water problem. Kukuo is located on a very high land, rocky land. When you drill borehole, at the end of the day, it turns out to be dry. And that is what we have experienced over the years. But that is not to deter us. We are still determined to move higher because there's a place far away from Kukuo that we have discovered that we could get water table very high there. And that would provide a reliable source of water. So that is what we are doing.
You mentioned earlier that water crisis or water challenge is not peculiar to the people of Kukuo. But I can also say that there are other places in Ghana that are on higher areas, but they also have access to water. So why is the story of Kukuo different? Or they are not a priority in terms of access to water in the country?
Certainly, we will have different stories about different communities. We have different needs and different challenges. Over the years, like I told you, boreholes have been provided. And that was what we were doing as an assembly. So at this stage, if we see that that is not, particularly where we have provided the boreholes, it's not giving results, then we have to take it further. And that's what I told you we'll be doing. We'll be doubling our efforts. And by that, we'll go further to where we can get water that will be reliable.
Right, so for now, we should be hopeful.
Very well.
So,
Okay.
Honorable, am I
Yes.
right in thinking that the Oti River runs not too far away from the Nanumba South District?
Come again?
The Oti River,
Yes.
how far away is it from the Nanumba South District? Do you have any idea, roughly?
Yeah, hello? Yes, yes.
I'm asking a question that the Oti River, how far
Yes.
is it away from the Nanumba South District? Do you have any idea?
No, I cannot tell you precisely the distance.
Okay.
But it runs through Nanumba South in some areas.
It runs through Nanumba South in some areas.
Yes.
Okay. Have you considered accessing the river as a source of water for the citizens of Kukuo, the residents of Kukuo?
Yes, I think like we have all been aware, the quest to get dependable source of water cannot exclude talking about tapping our water source from the River Oti. But that is going to require a lot of money. It is going to be capital intensive. That you may be tempted to abandon all other things. If you are going to use your resources, you have to abandon all other sectors, health, education, rules, and everything, and then go to do only that one. And that you'll be causing another damage elsewhere. And media will come after you. Why? School year is ripped off. You didn't fix it. Chief's compound, you didn't provide.
But
So
Honorable,
we are getting to a point where we will have to provide this water.
Honorable.
To other, yes.
with everything you've mentioned, don't you think that water should be number one? Because you're looking at education. Without water, how do we do this? You're looking at health. Without water, how do we do this? For me,
Certainly,
yeah.
Certainly, they are complementary. They are complementary. And you have that. Whilst we're providing boreholes to Kukuo community, we're providing Chief's compound to other communities.
Because
And
the
that
Chief's
is their
compound
need.
will need water.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if Kukuo needs water and we provided borehole, and another community needs Chief's compound, that's health. We have to go in there. And that is also going to serve them. And another community will need school. That is also going to. But we can't say we cannot abandon every other thing in other areas. Please, take it. That we are trying to strike a balance.
All right,
to ensure
Honorable.
that everybody is served.
We will take it. We will take
Right.
it. But for now,
Thank you.
this is the situation. So the people of
Yes.
Kukuo will not
Yes.
get water anytime soon because there are no timelines and we don't know when
Well, he
they
said
will
soon,
get water.
and he said be hopeful.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that is it.
But
Because
we-
I would expect the residents to be hopeful
Yeah.
and would want the government's, rep in the area to give us timelines. But unfortunately, we are all singing the same tune.
Yeah, but you know what you say, right? Hope is not a strategy.
But hopeful?
Yeah.
I mean, if government is telling us to be hopeful, then you
hopeful.
know that this
Hope
is where
is not
the
a
situation
strategy.
is. There's no
I
end
mean,
in sight.
it's we should be telling the citizens of Kukuo to be hopeful, not their DCE. Their DCE should be giving them firm timelines and a firm plan as to what it is he's going to be doing.
Look, there's no plan, and for me, it's not about answering questions. I mean, from everything we've heard, there is no plan.
Yeah.
Kukuo is not getting water anytime soon.
No. I hope you understood the conversation that we were having with him, and you heard what he said. That residents of Kukuo, this is your DCE who has spoken.
Your government.
And your government, actually, who has spoken. And basically, they're telling you that let's hope
And wish.
that soon you will have water. We asked him, when should we check back? He said, oh, soon. So the soon has no limits or definition.
That
There's no
soon,
definition
soon
for it.
can
It's
be
soon.
tomorrow, soon can be next year, soon can be in 5 years'
There's
time.
no description
Timeline.
of exactly when, which means there really isn't a plan in place.
Just get your money and buy water. That is what he said.
Yeah. So you are at the vagaries and the mercies of tricycle riders and whoever else wants to transport water from wherever to you. May God help us all. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
You're welcome back. Now, from the northern region, let's go to the eastern region. We visit Akwetia. Now, when we mention Akwetia, I don't want to hear any negative stuff because I want to be talking diamonds, But unfortunately, we are looking at some bad roads in Akwetia, all the way in the eastern region, and residents are not too excited about this. And so they are calling on government to urgently, in fact, as a matter of emergency, complete all abandoned road projects in the area. We have a story put together by Citi News' Ni Ayikwe Okan. Let's take a look and come back to have a conversation.
Akwetia is a mining community in the eastern region and one of the notable areas for the growing of cash crops such as cocoa and oil palm. But the town can barely boast of good inner roads and linking ones to neighboring communities. Residents of Achimkusi town tells Citi News the dusty nature of the linking road to Takrase poses a health risk to them. Commercial drivers lament the effect on their operations.
Potholes in footro. Just say, Quananga, they know, in Soto is here, and Hobetrian. Quaning Yaka, Yaka Papa Crow, coins will be a talker, no the Kukuo. O talk out of us, be not saying Nunansa. Potholes are Cassia, a quiny nine yet, as a quiny dear, rushing up doors, yes, Ramwa. Yo, this year, Puma organizer, Filia. So you are mom why I one Diana. Oh, and
Yasha, you who said baby, I say the coat of Yagusu.
Oh, where dear? Yami, I'm no corner of Kukuo, say, Pese Guia Quanso. You Pese Guia Quanso and Kota and friend Mammy, they be see that the whole then what is Kusin Quan, no Koyo Maya machines, no big chasso, and all my scanner Fabu Boyana and any goose. I didn't know. Yeah, I don't. I am a good one. So I will go on a boy and a good one.
When they blow a jar, Miss Subet made Gallis, well, Untimi Saturday, wow. Untimi Saturday, and what dress why the cook do. When you are so attended, and I will look at it, as a free Naba, and so most there were 24 a.m. Petamua. And I am Sanya Mano, the home organizer, the home money, home organizer of Fitacracy. You would this was see. You were for this club at transfer 8 years. Kisimu never transfer 8 years when Petemwade and can't quite it. Ah, then
near Quanye, Nancy Cranny and Timmy and Quaquetia. Now on Nabo, Eddie Fidia Brain. I begree a quan soon come and said ye to me Quaquetia hospital. You could do you could be a Waquetia.
I am sure I could foot quite how best I had.
When footro ne ekoyem ese ne yesro na boso obetimi abegu ye kwan yi so amaye.
In an attempt to give a facelift to the road, the residents have resorted to using the residue of processed palm kernel oil on the roads after the Member of Parliament for the area, Henry Yadomboachi, restripped the road.
In Suta, na choku hadmusi, tema cast na ekono na omobre. And to him, come quite a more called dark crack ball a highway for Ramanians. No, Omian say, might be behaving to remember yet. And the yard is so funny as suckers that between 200 man. Yeah, it is some mayor my young pepper, some mayor sack of it. No, my a quanos no. The senior dready, I must say, Hano, and Cabestre say, cold tack on mayor my. San say a foot tronid, instead of top, not sans say, got this in your home.
For residents of the Toboase township in the Akwetia constituency, the government must asphalt the dusty roads and provide culverts to help curb flooding whenever it rains.
I am Futukwandi, I can't want so much Rabayache. And so only would you maybe and Pamfutrons at the Yariaba. When we see Tama, you come say, be brave, pepon. Something foot I found on a cool tiny entino. Yaria Cassia Bobo and Yadi. And Smith the same foot on the end yet. No more Casra by and say, Conabo, Omodina, on Shay, so been supervisor, quan we are mine, it many baby at.
Aha no nsuo tɔ aha ne nyɛ aha ne yɛ atɛkyɛne ayi nti sɛ mayɛ adom na sɛ mu betwa yɛ kwan ya ma yɛnya yɛda mo ase paa sɛ maba mu betwa ekwan ya ma yɛn saa na yɛhwehwɛ mfuturo ne nsunsuanso ne ba saa na ebi wɔ hɔ a nkwalaa no kora free school ba obi wɔ hɔ a etimi fa no gɔtɛ sɛ afɛ de yaleɛ ɛne ntontom ne enioma ba enti mo abɛyɛ we no yɛhu sɛ mo wɔ empuntuo ma kuroi.
The MP has also facilitated the construction of some inner roads for the Achimwenchi town for ease of mobility by residents. The Member of Parliament for Akwetia, Henry Yadomboache, tells Citi News he would work to ensure that the poor roads are fixed by the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
So what I intend doing is I actually file a question to the Roads and Highways Minister, Honorable Amakwanta, and he made a promise to me that after the holidays I should do a follow-up and see how best he's going to package a contract, and that contract will be awarded, then they can come back to site and continue. Because they were doing it before the election. We don't know what actually happened after the election. Then the contractor came and then they packaged things and left. So it's something that I'm following up. I'm doing this on my capacity. To tie the road also is a different thing. You know, that's also a government work. I would say that in the sense that they were doing it before I came in as a member of parliament. So mine is to make sure I follow up, talk to the road sector minister and make sure things will be done at the appropriate time.
The MP, as part of his developmental projects for the area, has commenced the construction of a chips compound at Ariaso and also renovated similar projects at Buedua and Baminase, all within the constituency.
This is the Kusi town linking to Takrase, all within the Akwetia constituency in the eastern region. And the deplorable nature of the roads here are making residents here uncomfortable.
Right, so this is the condition of the roads in Akwetia in the eastern region. Now we have on the phone line Assemblyman for Buedua, West Vincent Akoli. Thank you very much. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, madam.
Right, so what are we doing about the road, Honorable?
Hello?
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you, madam.
Very well. Now, diamonds come from your area, but the roads are extremely terrible. What are we doing about it?
Oh, thank you, madam. Good morning and Happy New Year to you and my cherished listeners.
Well, Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. It's very true. In fact, when you come to Akwetia constituency, in fact, we have problems with our inner roads. But with the help of the MP, Honorable Wachiyadon Kukuo, I would say most of the roads have been reshaped. He brought a grader from Kukuo to come and do the reshaping for us. So as we speak now, in my community, that's Buedua West Electoral area.
Yeah.
I would say most of the bad roads have been reshaped and they are in good use now.
Right. Now, but very dusty, right?
Very, very dusty.
Now,
very dusty.
Your MP in an interview with us said that before the elections, there was a contractor on site, but right after election, the contractor left. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Do you have?
And we don't know the reason why he left.
You've not found out from him? You've not spoken to him?
Hello?
Hi, you've not spoken to him, Honorable?
The contractor?
Yes, yes.
No, it's only we talked to our DC, and he told us that the contractor will be back to site after the holidays.
Okay, so it means any moment from now, we should expect the contractor on site.
We are hoping so.
Right. Now, the young people say that the youth in the area say they've been using palm kernel stuff to manage the road. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
In fact, you know, as I am not an expert, I cannot say much about that, madam.
All right, but do you find any, some kind of materials on the road which is not asphalt?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a palm kernel patch.
Okay, so describe that to us. What is it supposed to do?
That's what I said. I'm not an expert, so I can't. But according to those who are using it, they said it allows the dust to settle down. Yeah.
So it reduces the dust on the road, basically.
Yes, it reduces the dust on the road, sir.
Okay.
Right now, because we're in the dry season, it's extremely dusty. But can you also paint a picture to us how the roads are like in the rainy season?
In the rainy season. Hello?
Yes. In the rainy season.
Normally, in the rainy season, because the roads are not tarred, at times there's holes in the roads. Very big potholes in the roads. Yeah, but with the intervention of the MP, in fact, the way manner they have reshaped the road, I think even when it's raining season, I think it will help us a lot.
Right. Now, how does your road challenges affect economic activities in the area?
Oh, that one is true. Because of the bad nature of the roads, in fact, people cannot come into town with their farm produce to the markets. At times, even some people doesn't have access to their homes because of the bad nature of the roads. But with the intervention of the MP, I think now all the community members are very, very happy with what the MP has done.
Really?
What exactly has the MP done that is making the residents happy?
Well, actually, as we said, the nature of our roads, the inner roads, they were very bad at, in fact, they can't go to their homes with their vehicles and their luggages. But with the intervention of the MP, I think all the roads have been reshaped, and now they have access to their homes. And apart from that, we have also carried out innovations on our health center.
Wait, who's your DCE?
My DCE is Honorable Tech Briefline.
Okay. And what's your DC doing about, because the report that we have, the roads we are seeing, they don't look like anything to write home about. Extremely dusty. What's your DCE saying? What's he doing?
Oh, actually, he promised us at our last meeting that the grader is having a problem. So this is what he told us.
All right. Now, Honorable, you seem to be very happy with the work done so far by your MP. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that the concerns raised by the youth in the area are unjustified?
Madam, come again.
So I'm asking you that you seem to be okay with the work that the MP is doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about the complaints that some residents are also bringing out? Are they justified, or you think that is much ado about nothing? They are just complaining.
Oh, madam, in fact, I cannot condemn all the complaints that they have been making. Because since concerning the dust, in fact, the place is very dusty. And the roads too, there are so many roads that have not been touched. And I'm sure the MP will touch all of them. So if they are having any complaint, well, maybe some are genuine and others who, I don't know how to talk about it.
So per your assessment, what needs to be done now regarding the roads?
Oh, okay, as for the road, I think the government, the central government must come in so that they award the roads to a contractor so that we will come and then tar all the inner roads. I think if that is done, I think all our problems will be solved concerning roads problems we have in the constituency.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable, for your time. So Vincent Akoli is Assemblyman for Buadua West, and we've been talking about the abandoned road projects in Akwetia. Now, he seems to be very excited about work done by the MP.
Yeah, no, I find it interesting that he, as an Assembly member, is not focusing on his boss, the district, the DCE, but is rather hyping the MP, whose job it isn't
not
to build roads.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know.
that is why he's happy with his intervention.
Well, I just think that we need to be a lot more deliberate in this country about the things that we do. And even people in places like the Assemblyman should be minded that the DCE's responsibility it is to make sure that the entire community within the Akwatia, the assembly, the West Bodua electoral area where he is, roads are done. And when the citizens are complaining, he's rather hyping the MP when the citizens who he's the assemblyman of, are complaining. He doesn't see. He's not. Yeah, he's not. He doesn't see what.
Hero.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
anyway.
It is. I don't understand it. But anyway, so residents of Akwatia, do let us know what's exactly that you're experiencing, what you are on a daily basis, what's going on in your community, and the story that we've brought. Is that your experience? Is that what you're going through? The WhatsApp line, again, it's 0204 447 033. Please save it. Send us a message. Let us know exactly how you feel about what is going on in your community.